Hey everybody, I'm Scotty J. You are watching Rock Titan Music Television. I have a very interesting guest with us right now. For all of you that have been following Rock Titan TV, you notice a lot of times we'll have some of the mainstream, big-time commercial acts that are worldwide. But the thing is, there's a lot of musicians out there that you may not necessarily be familiar with that have also had fairly lucrative careers and some very interesting experiences by themselves. And this person that I'm on the phone with right now has actually earned a paycheck making music, all right? How many artists can actually say that? The man's earned a paycheck, so he's earned my time. Ladies and gentlemen, I am speaking with Mr. Billy Sutton. Bill, how are you?
How you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah. So I am with you all the way from Dunkirk, New York. Now, one of the things that I didn't say in my opening monologue is that at one point in time, sir, you actually played with the original guitars for Megadeth, yes?
Well, one of my best friends that I jammed with him, yeah, he's one of my friends as a child, and he's probably, we were probably like 16. I had to jam with him a couple times, yeah.
And we're talking about Chris Poland, of course.
Poland, yes.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, you know? So, I mean, Dunkirk, New York, obviously I know it well because that's where all of my in-laws are from, the majority of them anyway. It's where my wife was born. But, you know, not a lot of people necessarily are familiar with the area of Dunkirk, New York. But is this where you have, you know, pretty much resided and played music for the majority of your career and your life?
Yes, most of the time was played Dunkirk, Philly, but I was in a band years back that we traveled. I've been in 5 states. I played about 110 shows a year for like 11 years. And it got to a point where I had to take a little break and do something different, but it was still in music. And I did a one-man band that I went away to Florida doing that. That's like 8 years. And so I got lonely doing that. So then I came back, DJ'd a while, then I went back into a band again. My band today is Zen City.
Okay.
And we play, you know, we probably play like 4 or 5 times a month, but we're not going to play this winter, though. I just don't want to go out in that cold.
Yeah, I know winters up there are pretty brutal.
Terrible, actually, you know.
You guys all drive around in snowmobiles from gig to gig?
Well, some guys do, but I don't. You know, I don't like to go out in the winter at all. I drive through the snow. I don't shovel it. I gave that up for Lent, you know. And,
All right. Now, Billy, you know, we've talked quite a bit, you know, behind the scenes, off the record, you know, as we were gearing up for today. And I really want to clue people in on, you know, the music that you've produced, the bands that you play with, you know, because I think it would be great for the public to be able to go out there and check out some of your music. As it stands right now, is there any way digitally or either digitally or on hard copy, because I know you're a little more old school these days, is there any way for anyone to buy the music that you've produced over the years?
well, I'd have to set up an account maybe on Facebook or something. You could, but I wrote a lot of my own stuff.
Okay.
And then cover stuff I did too. And I got CDs and stuff, but I tried selling it at one time. It just seemed like I was just too busy didn't know how to promote nothing, you know. I was in a few jukeboxes here and there, but
I got you.
They were brought on because I did it all myself. I didn't have a producer or nothing like that, so kind of went to the wayside. But I still do it, and I still want you guys to hear some of it. And I've been in like 5 or 6 cover bands in probably the last 35 years.
Okay.
Some of them I go for quite a while, and I thank the people for that, you know. And so right now, it's just coming to the end of my season. I probably won't play past October. By Halloween, I should be done. And then so I'll come back next March.
Okay. Now, one of the things I'm curious about, because obviously you touched on the fact that you've been in a number of cover bands over the years, but you've also written a lot of your own original music. For you personally as an artist, what do you get more pleasure out of? You know, doing the cover band thing? Or do you actually get more enjoyment playing your own music?
Well, I think to play my own music that comes out right, exactly how I want it to be, gets recorded right. You know, I spend all the money on the studio myself. That would be hard to do that, but I hear a song that I did all by myself. I think it's a great feeling.
Yeah.
I really do like that. Once in a while I hit a cover tune that I grew up with that I really love. That's one thing, but you write your own, it's really cool. I like it.
Now, one of the things I'm curious about, because you've been in the music scene for so long, I'm very interested in your take on this. The money that cover bands are able to generate, going out and playing whatever venues they're playing in, versus the kind of money that an original band can generate. I've talked with a lot of artists like yourself that do both. They have their cover bands that they're in, and then they also have their original bands. And they play the cover bands because they're able to make more money. Now, this is kind of a two-part question. Can you, for your part, say that you've made more money playing in cover bands than in your original bands?
Yeah, definitely with cover bands. Because, like you say, original music is good. And if I had it out a long, long time ago and people knew it, then you might get away with it. But around here and stuff where I live, my main thing is cover bands, and they get paid all the time with that, and I like that.
Now, why? Why do you think that is, that the public? Because for me, if I want to hear a band's music, I want to hear it from the original band. For me personally, I'm not necessarily interested in going to watch a band play someone else's music. That's not to say I wouldn't love to come out to watch your cover band play. But I'm just, kind of playing the devil's advocate here, I guess maybe more than anything else. Why do you personally, and this is, between Scotty J here and Billy Sutton, I'm asking you personally, why do you think people are potentially more interested in paying money to go see a cover band versus a local original band where it's all their own original music? Is there anything that your own opinion on that?
Well, I would think that they're more familiar with the cover stuff, and maybe it's better dancing to it. It all depends what the band does for their songs. And for me, a lot of my songs are ballads. Some of them rock a little bit, I guess it all depends on the mood. And like I say, the cover bands, you just know more of them, and people know them. They might come to see that, But for my original band, it'd be great if people could sing songs that mine back to me why I'm singing.
Right on.
It'd be a trip,
Now, I'm curious, as an original artist, now, you're a guitarist, and you also do vocals, yes? Yeah. Okay. How many songs have you written?
Oh, I've probably got over 200.
Really?
All by myself, I wrote them. I'll play all the parts,
Now, have you had a chance to perform them all?
I did a few times, yeah. And they went over, but I only had a few that I actually worked to play out with.
Okay.
And a lot of the guys, for the bands, they're kind of jealous. They don't have any. Going to my band,
Right. Now, are any of those songs that you've written, are you still performing those songs today in an original band today, or are you doing more of the cover band thing?
Just more cover band now. Yeah, I thought about, throwing a few more back in, because in this coming up March and April, I'm starting a couple new guys who are going to be in my band, and they're easier to convince, so maybe I can get a few more original stuff out there.
All right. Now, and we're talking about Sin City again, yeah?
Yeah, well, that's Sin City, yes, but I'm thinking about having a band. If we do original stuff, we're going to call it More Than Money.
Okay.
The new name, More Than Money, and that would be, hopefully, we can do a few anyway. And maybe a host that of it.
All right. Now, we're going to showcase some of the work that you've done, both originally and as part of your cover projects. Given the fact that, our audience watching wants to come and check you guys out, I know that you've got some touring that's going to be coming up here, in the not-too-distant future. Where are you going to be playing? Where are some of the cities that people can come watch you if they want to come out and watch you?
Well, I'm from Dunkirk, New York, and there's just so many places in Dunkirk. There's a place called Rookies. We've got the Dimitri's on the lake. We've got the Clarion Hotel on the lake.
Okay.
It's a nice place. And then a lot of people will book me for private parties, in their backyard, which they have, extravagant yards and huge barns and stuff like that you want to play in. But, they pay really good.
Right on. Clarion's actually really nice. I had my wedding reception there 18 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Actually, yesterday. Yesterday was 18 years, for my father-in-law, who I know is going to be watching this. Yes, We were out there on the lake, and that is a beautiful area. But did I hear that you're going to be in Erie, Pennsylvania?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that.
Did I hear that you're going to be playing in Erie, Pennsylvania, and not too far from now?
I played in Erie last Saturday.
Oh, okay. All right. That already came and went. Okay.
Wegman deal.
Okay.
Hired the band.
All right.
And 4 hours. It was pretty neat, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of people there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we've got, see, I'm actually playing Rookies end of the month.
Okay.
Here.
All right. What about Buffalo? You ever get out to the Buffalo region?
Well, I have. I've been at Niagara Falls, right down in the park in Niagara Falls, where they had 4th of July.
Okay.
Did a gig there. Actually, did 2 that day.
Okay.
2-hour gig. And it was kind of hard setting that equipment up, taking it down, you know.
Yeah, right on. Right on.
And we've had a brutal summer here. You know,
Oh, I know. It's hot. It's hot all up and down the East Coast. It's been brutal. It almost feels like Arizona or Texas.
it seemed like that, even though I haven't been to either place. But,
Yeah?
you know, I can imagine how hot it is down there.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I'm really interested in, because and my ears perked up when you and I were talking, because you just mentioned it so casually, and so passing. You're like, oh, you ever heard of this band called Megadeth? Because I played with Chris Poland. We were friends growing up, and I'm just like, yeah, we know Megadeth, and of course Chris Poland. That's pretty wild. Now, I got to ask you, going back to your early days with Chris in Dunkirk, New York, did you ever have a thought in your mind that he would go on to join a band and get the kind of accolades and whatnot that he received upon joining a band as well recognized as Megadeth? Is that anything that you ever saw coming?
Well, maybe not that, but I know he was exceptional at that age.
Yeah.
I know he did stuff that I never seen before, and he had something about him that he went out to California and made it big, and he was
That
a
was
great
it.
player.
Yeah,
Nice
man.
guy.
That was it. Now, are you still friendly with him to this day?
Well, he used to be his neighbor, Gary Douglas. Gary Douglas is a guitar player, too. They grew up together across the street from each other.
Okay.
And Gary said that Chris had called him past summer. And he told me what he talked about a few things. But I haven't contacted him by his brother. I talked to his brother, and now he's out in California, too. But I think he still plays the drums, certain bands.
Okay.
And he came to a gig at Rookies I was at. And now, speaking of your father-in-law real quick, my first band, Todd, his name is Drummond.
Yeah, Todd Drummond, yeah.
Drummer. We're 12 or 13 years old, and he was really good at that time.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I think you're full of crap.
Well, since I had a picture of the band, I might have one somewhere. I'm going to look.
I'll tell you what, if you've got a picture, Bill, I got to see it. I got to see it. My kids got to see it.
If I got it, I'll look for it. I give it all effort to look for it.
I tell you what, it's like a UFO sighting, or like the Loch Ness Monster, or the Sasquatch. You got to see it to believe it, because I'm hearing it. I don't know that I believe it,
You can ask them.
Yeah, no, it's funny because we did talk a little bit about that. But you know what? It's funny because, obviously we're talking about Chris Poland, that you grew up with and knew, and he went out to California, joined Megadeth. Now, you as an artist, how come you never necessarily went to any of the larger metropolitan areas where maybe potentially you could have had a better opportunity at your music getting, picked up, and who knows where you might have gone on? Did it ever occur to you to think that of leaving Dunkirk, New York, and heading out to L.A. or maybe heading to New York City or going to an area where you might have a little bit more of an audience?
Well, I did travel to Florida and stuff, and I did play some of the original stuff. That's the people they put me on the jukebox at some of these places where I played.
Right.
But there was still nobody that had caught on. I didn't know anybody big at the time or anything, or still really right now, that could take it to the next level. And I know I played it, and I know people, they said they liked it. But just take it to the next level, I never had the opportunity or met anybody that could do that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, that's interesting. as far as like some of the work that you're doing right now, what are you working on right now as an artist?
Well, I'm working on putting a 3-piece band together for next March.
Okay.
And I'll probably, have a lot of effects on my guitar where I guess I'm like more than one guitar. I'm using 2 different amplifiers. I'm using a keyboard pedal with my guitars. And I'm we might do a couple original songs with these other guys.
All right.
Nope.
What kind of equipment do you like to use? Like, what kind of a guitar do you play? What kind of amps do you play?
Well, I play this Telecaster right here. It's 56 years old.
Nice.
You can see that, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I saw the neck of it. Can you show the body of it? What's this baby look like? Oh man, have you put that thing on? Have you kind of seen what that might be going for on eBay? Not that you would ever part ways with it, but a Telecaster of that vintage, that thing's got to have some value, huh?
Yeah, I think so. If people try to buy it off me, it ain't for sale. I've had it 30-some years, and it's 56 years old.
That's awesome.
And I got 16 guitars, but this is one I like the best out of all of them. I got a couple of Strats, Les Paul, but this is my favorite one.
Okay.
Yeah. I take it for a ride sometimes. Put it in the car, take it a ride, point grass shooting around.
Do you know, that's funny. I think John 5, actually, from Rob Zombie, does the same thing with his Telecaster. Because I know he actually has a name for his. Have you named that? Do you have a name for your guitars? Do you name them?
Well, Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
From the same age as the guitar.
Right
my
on.
Wife. She's really good to me. It wasn't for her, I don't know where I'd be doing, as music, because she supported me all this time, and I appreciate her.
Yeah, no, man, right on. Now, in terms of like websites and Facebook and stuff like that, do you have any kind of links or anything like that people can go to check out your work?
I've got a Zen City page.
Do you? What's the name of that website?
I think it's just Zen City, Bill Sutton's Zen City.
All right, so everybody, again, make sure you go check out Zen City. We're gonna put that up here so you can see Mr. Billy Sutton's band, and check out some of his music. And again, Bill, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And again, for everybody out here on Rock Titan TV, there's a lot of artists out there that you may not have heard of that you should have heard of, and now you're going to. Please go check out Bill's music. And Billy, again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.